Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
That intro will never not hit as like the greatest fucking intro of all time. But welcome everybody to a breaking news episode of Much Ado About Something. We got some Ezra Miller news. We got the confirmation not too long ago that Warner Brothers was mulling over 3 different possibilities on how to deal with the Ezra Miller situation. And guess what? To our surprise, they chose the exact one we swore there was no fucking way that they would do that, right? You know what it reminds me of, Trayvon? When me and Joel sat here and went, there is no way Batgirl gets canceled. There is no way you throw that away. And the very next day, Warner Brothers was like, oh, y'all maybe shouldn't have spoke. Yeah, that's out of here. So, it just seems like we should maybe stop talking Warner Brothers shit. But Ezra Miller has come out and issued an apology. I have the quote for the actual apology right here. Gonna read it. The apology was, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. I will say Ezra Miller is trying his best to beat out Deshaun Watson for worst apologies of the year. I want to give them both a round of applause. Very proud of you both for not meaning a fucking word you said. I love it. But this is, I did not expect it to go this route. I very much am curious to see what manifests from this. Didge, I'll start off with you. Are you at all concerned that if he does get the necessary help, they may revisit him being the Flash down the road?
I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think this was just cementing that. You know, this is showing that, all right, well, he put out his statement. Now they can be like, oh, see, guys, he's trying. As long as nothing else comes of it. And with Ezra, you never know. But let's assume nothing else comes of it. I think this just cemented that he's the Flash moving forward.
I want to disagree. But the biggest problem for me is there was never, and again, it wouldn't have been, so we got closer to it, but there was never a green light of what the plans of the Flash were past this movie, right? So now you can dig into that and go, Flashpoint, reset everything. We're going to take a step back from the Flash for a little bit, right? Figure that shit out. Revisit it. So it is one of those things where it's like it does seem like the writing's on the wall. Because again, we did not, and again, we don't know that this is the number one option, right? That was the apology.
Yeah, we're just assuming.
We're assuming this comes with it, right? We're assuming this is kind of lump sum. It's the apology. It'll be the future backing of Warner Brothers coming out and say we support him. He's getting help. We love him. He's the greatest thing on earth, right? That whole spiel, right? So to me, Joa, as I pass it to you, do you agree with Didge that this feels like a foregone conclusion? Or is this just somebody coming out and apologizing and we're still moving past it?
I don't know. I do not know what any of this is. I appreciate him finally coming out and apologizing after his 2-year fucking terrorization.
And recently being on the run.
His territory.
He got OJ caught, and now it's like, well, fuck, you caught me.
Yeah, he was out there. Yikes. And now he finally, they sat him down at some point. And he realized, you know what, maybe I'm fucking nuts, you know? And look, there's no doubt in my mind there's something wrong up there.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Absolutely. I don't think he's just an asshole. He might be, but there definitely is more to it because he was like self-destructing. You know what I mean? It's like it was a bad pattern. It just kept getting worse, like snowballing and worse. But to the point, I think he did so much damage that it's gonna be no matter what he says, sorry wise, and how many times he apologizes, it's gonna be hard to win over the people again. And they might want to keep him long term again because they love him or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think he ruined the relationship with the fans, and I'm not sure there's a way of recovering from that. Now they're gonna try their darndest to fix it, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure he's back, but at least he's back for this movie. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
I mean, Trayvon, you said it, you called it. You said they gonna fix it right up. They're gonna clean it right up and try to act like nothing ever happened. You did say it, and again, I thought you were out of your goddamn mind. But again, it looks like they're heading this route, and I tell you guys this right now: Netflix, Apple, Hulu, Amazon. You know what they're all fighting over right now? The rights to give us surviving Ezra Miller. They are fighting right now to produce that documentary. They flying to Hawaii. They flying all over the world to get interviews to produce surviving Ezra Miller. And that's what's going to end up fucking up Warner Brothers if they keep him. Soon as that shit drop, everybody going to go, oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, no Flash.
Yep.
But Trayvon.
You're like, hold off till after the movie.
Right.
Do whatever you want after the movie.
Right, yeah, do it after. So that way we can go, yeah, fuck him too. Yeah. But Trayvon, is this some sort of validation? Vindication, I'm sorry. Vindication.
I knew that's what they were going to do. Like, this was,
yes, we did call Trayvon a madman.
This was so clear to me. I was like, they're not, like, he'll be fine. I'm just saying, he's not black. Like, it's just, they were going to fix this up. Like, all he got to say is, I'm sorry, I'm going to get some help. I mean, even if you read this thing from Variety down about him and talking about that time that video he was choking somebody, nobody give a damn. And then
we said that, yeah.
And then, and then talking about how he got arrested, but it was just a misdemeanor. He paid $500 fine, $30 court fee, and that was it. And then apparently the harassment got dropped. Like, it's just like simple. Like, it's just very free flowing for him. Them. Damn, so it's just, so it's just like, I mean, do I think he's going to continue being Flash? Hell no. I think we're going to get this movie. They're going to do this apology. Now, I'm just wondering, are they going to have him in interviews? Because
that's tough.
That's the only thing or any interviews, because they're going to want to ask. They might start with a regular question. They're going to try the hell to pivot to that. They're going to
I'm going to be honest with you. In studying marketing, the first thing you learn is when you fuck up this royally,
it's bad, and
you start to chart your path back, the first thing you want to do is put him in front of as many cameras once the I'm sorry.
Because you're hoping that you're hoping that it's going to essentially burn itself out there.
100%, or just become more of a sympathetic thing. Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
Now, where it might fuck you over is, remember when they did that with Chris Brown and he flipped out and broke a window with a chair when they interviewed him around that Rihanna stuff all those years ago. That's where it fucks you over.
There's also that.
He also did tell them not to ask him questions about it. That was the first fucking question they asked. But I do think this will begin. I believe that if he starts his help now and there is nothing brought to light between now and when that movie releases, he will be there for that press run. 100%. Because the narrative will have drastically changed.
They don't have to do any press right now. They can wait.
No. Now, no.
Or 5 months from now.
This is like restructuring his face.
Yeah,
like,
this is what, next 100%. June, right?
Yeah, they got time.
Next June.
They got time.
They've played this. The apology is now.
Yep.
Now, you hear nothing through Shazam. You hear nothing through any of that, and you start your press run in January. That they knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt in my mind.
I tell you, if I am a co-star in this movie, there's no fucking way I'm doing press with him. He can do that shit on his own, walk that shit on his own. Yeah. No way I'm gonna sit there and have to listen to you ask him this shit for 10 minutes and then look at me and go, "Oh, hi. All right, next group."
But like, wow, you're gonna
ignore me. Yeah, fuck all that. No. Put me next to Michael Keaton. Like, that's what everybody's gonna say. No, put me next to Michael. Ben's gonna say no. I don't even want to do press. Vince
might
I
not.
got my own shit.
He might not.
I got my own shit I'm dealing with. Go ahead,
Might
Mike.
not.
I was just gonna say, like the conversation we had last week, I said it would be a combination of 1 and 2, most likely, right? You get in front of it, you have the apology, and there is a version where you can say Ezra's getting the help they need, and they're not going to be on the press tour. That way, you make sure the cast can focus on talking about the movie,
Right.
but you also have, like Dij was saying, you have the narrative of he's getting help. And they don't have to be on the press tour having to confront all those awkward conversations.
Right.
Somebody
I
gonna
just-
try him though. Somebody gonna try him.
I just
Somebody,
don't
but
see.
yeah.
I don't see how he's left off of it. If he gets help now, and we hear nothing between now and when that press tour starts, I don't see it, because to me it makes it worse. Because then the questions will be: have you reached out to Ezra? How's he doing? You won't escape it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he has
You're gonna need progress
charted
reports.
down,
Yeah.
right? If he has charted down the right path between now and let's say May of next year, right? He's done the work. He's put in the time. I don't see how you don't put him out there, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's just to say, hey, this is the last ride. He will not be back as the Flash. You know, he's charted his way to becoming a better person. And again,
Right.
no one here is making excuses for him, right? Because
No.
at the end of the day, all of us here are Flash fans, right? Whatever actor you want to throw out there,
Flash
Flash
fans
fans first.
Yep.
Right. So I've always said this, Joel. You can speak to this. I've always said this. I've always leaned more towards, I was more concerned about him getting the help he needs, more so than anything else. The movie to me is secondary. You have victims in this situation, right? There's a whole healing process. You know, you remember when we were talking about Deshaun Watson? What was the narrative everyone kept saying? When you're the Browns and you give him that contract, you're
Yeah.
pretty much saying fuck you to all the victims, right?
Yeah.
So
that
it's
was,
like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, as long as he's getting the help he needs and he's making the steps to become a better person, to me, that is numero uno, right? And then, you know, he now has to live with fixing things with the victims and everything like that.
This is step one.
Right, for sure. For sure. I do not believe it should have taken as long.
No.
You know, but maybe this was one of those off the meds situation. And when they got a hold of him, put him back on that shit, it was able to calm his ass down
What
long
the-
enough
Yeah. Now
to see what was going on.
we're gonna have to ask, like, what the fuck is wrong with him? You're like,
That is a very important question, because the last thing we heard, he was on the run, and now we have an apology. It's like,
paranoid and shit.
when did the run stop? Like, when did you
They,
catch him?
when they arrested him. When they arrested them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. They were arrested. I completely forgot that. You're absolutely right, Trayvon. So, I mean, I think we all agree that it starts now. Forget the movie in the sense of him being a part of it. The road to becoming a better person starts now. His road to redemption begins now. You know, I just know that there's no way, left or right, this is not a distraction for that movie. There is nothing that will help that.
Nope.
So I just help. It's as much positive narratives. I'm sorry, going into this movie as possible.
Oh, I also think that's impossible.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, if you're saying that between now and May or June when this comes out, June it comes out, but either May or June when you start your press run, right? That he's been in therapy. There's been no incidents. He's been in therapy. You hear more about the situation that happened, how he's trying to rectify the situations that happened. You can spin a positive narrative. I'm not saying that it won't still be blowback, but you have an easier time spinning it with him in therapy than you do with him on the farm somewhere with guns and shit. So I'm saying it's just a better narrative heading into it than what we thought the narrative was going to be a week or two ago, is all I'm saying. It's not perfect. It's just better than where we were,
Right.
is all I'm saying. But go ahead, Didge. I'm sorry. You had a response to that.
Oh no, I was just saying I think it's impossible to get away from it. Even with that positive narrative, I think the damage has been done.
Yeah.
To the point of especially if you do all of that, because then the question is gonna be, well, what happens after this movie? And it's the longer you don't say anything about that, it's going to be even every positive thing you're trying to do. It's like, okay, cool. We understand you want to get this movie out, but you're still potentially giving them more work when they honestly shouldn't be doing this. They're gonna have to get right back at it essentially if there's gonna be a sequel to this, or if they're gonna be the Flash and whatever the next project is. It's that I think there's gonna be too many lingering questions for them to get away from anything to try to remotely remove this movie from controversy.
They'll give them to us in December. That's when they'll give us those answers. They'll be after Black Adam, after Shazam.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, you don't want to
give them to us.
They don't want to say anything now that'll potentially ruin those two movies.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There is a way to make a positive out of this massive negative. It doesn't strip it of its negativity, but it does soften the blow if he does not fuck up between now and when this comes out.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
He has his detractors, and they're not going to let us. They're not going to let anybody forget. So
100%.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get away from it.
Right, but again, when you go to release it, it'll soften the blow on the narrative instead of being all the current fucked up shit he's doing, more so to him repenting for all that shit rather than it still continuing. Right? Because we thought there might not ever be an end to this shit. He might fucking go crazy forever, right? Gary Busey style, right? But it now looks like they're trying to rein him in, get him the help he needs. Because again, this was a massive like head scratcher. Like when it happened, it's just like, Ezra's what? Huh? In Hawaii? How is anyone ever angry in Hawaii? Like that shit should be illegal, right? You should get arrested just for being aggressive, right? Like just raising your voice should get you locked up for a day.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine, they are, while they're doing press run, they're getting their help, and then when the premiere comes, they're out there just looking great. And I've gotten my help, and now I'm here to see this film that we all made together. And that's how they're gonna rock it. They go they gonna walk that red carpet, no questions, and that's it.
And look, we know how professional actors and actresses can be on the red carpet. And again, I'm not comparing the situations at all. Just using an example of there being hostility on set. You guys remember when Christian Bale was shitting all over everybody during Terminator Salvation? They all walked the carpet together like that shit never happened. I guarantee you, as soon as they left that premiere, they were like, I hate that man with every fiber of my fucking being. So I'm saying I could see if they are a better human being by the time this comes out. People walking the carpet with him, hugging him and all that shit. Why? It's a check.
I mean, he has friends that they don't know him like that. So for them, it's like, what the fuck is wrong?
For us, it's like, what the fuck is wrong? And we're not
but
friends at all.
We also don't know him. Like,
right.
You know, we've seen him. You know what I mean? Like, this guy came out in defense of him because that's not the guy I know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why it's just weird for everyone. Like, we don't know what the fuck he's going through. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered that we'll never really get answers to. But this is the beginning. We said it. This is now the start.
Yeah, this is definitely step one.
Yeah. And PR has a.
He's in a whole band and everything, so I wonder how they feel.
He is, yeah. He has a band. That's right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I think we've learned two things. One, privilege is gonna privilege, and two, there is just never any way
they are in a band.
They are in a band. Yes. Again, we apologize for messing that up. We really do. We're not doing it to be funny. But the second thing we learned is there's no conceivable way to properly theorize what moves Warner Brothers would make.
Correct.
Right? Most of us have now gone 0 for 2 when it comes to logically thinking this makes sense and they'll do what makes sense.
I'm 2
right?
for 2, by the way.
You are.
I'm just saying.
You are. You jumped out on that ledge. I just want you to know it would have been really cold out there if you were wrong on either one of these. Because they were just like massive jump outs for you. Like, no.
Nah, I know how this shit works.
Apparently better than most. So I will sit back and go, I hope they just do what's in best interest of everybody involved in the fan base, because there is a way to do both.
Fair.
Yep.
All right, but I will say this last thing before we get out of here. Depending on how this turns out for Ezra, Warner Brothers might have a lawsuit on their hands when it comes to Amber. Because if you're Amber, you didn't do anything even remotely close to this shit. So if he walks the red carpet and everything like that, and there's a possibility he could stay on, if you're Amber, you're definitely looking at them like, excuse me? Like,
she's still in the movie, though. She ain't got taken out.
According to her, they cut a lot of that shit.
Well, they say that's because of chemistry. So, from the first movie.
I don't think anybody left that. I didn't hear it from anyone.
This is the last time we had a chemistry issue.
Chemistry
like
was
it was in court. He said it in court.
I know.
No. We're not arguing that. I'm saying I didn't hear any reviewer after that movie go, man, their chemistry.
Yeah, they say they worked really hard on that. Yeah, that's what it said.
God bless.
How was that bad?
Multiple takes. They cut the right takes together.
I'm gonna be that guy and just say she's a bad Mira, regardless of anything else that's happened. That's just my opinion. So,
I felt I didn't get enough of her. Like I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just felt like I didn't get enough. Yeah, I didn't get enough.
Powers are cool. That's about it.
I won't argue, Mike, that if you told me you recast her, I wouldn't go no. I'd be fine. But I'm saying I didn't think I got enough from it to say she was horrible or she was great.
I do want them to recast just not even anything else. I would love to see Emilia Clarke in that role because I think her and Jason Momoa play off each other so well. I don't even care. None of this stuff with Amber Heard could have happened, and I was like, they should just put Emilia Clarke in that role.
Well, that was everyone's fan cast before Amber Heard got casted.
They play amazing off each other.
Yeah, I mean, no disagreement here. And Jason Momoa has become a way better actor.
That too, yeah.
Because I believe in Game of Thrones, he just mumbled a lot, right?
Yeah, they didn't give him much to say though with Game of Thrones.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. He's come a long way from that and Conan, right?
Yeah,
he's come back around. But we do hope that Ezra does get the help that they need. We also do hope that the victims are able to find some kind of solace in how a lot of these things are starting to go down, whether it's him getting help, whether it's whatever was settled behind the scenes, whatever the case may be. Yeah. I hope that peace is the ultimate thing that comes from this, from all angles.
Yep.
Right? We get a good Flash movie, good future for the Flash. He gets help. Victims have some kind of solace from this entire situation. That's what we hope for. But we wanted to make a video to break down this breaking news. We want to ask you guys to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Give us your thoughts. How do you think Warner Brothers should go about this? Again, this is only an apology, right? We don't know what Warner Brothers' plans are for Ezra going forward. But what would you guys like to see happen with Ezra as far as the Flash? Do you want to recast? What do you want? What do you guys want? Let us know in the comment section below. But we want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Shout out to Trayvon, Didge, and Joel for joining me. And a massive shout out, as always, to Mike for working the boys from behind the scenes. We appreciate you. And until next time, guys. Peace.